From the time we learn to speak, we receive a very specific set of instructions. Parents teach us to share. Teachers tell us to be polite. Society praises us when we put the needs of others ahead of our own. We absorb an unspoken equation. If we are good to the people around us, they will automatically be good to us in return. It makes sense. It feels fair. Then we grow up, and we start to notice a persistent contradiction in the adult world. The person who never complains is handed more responsibilities. The person who always says yes gets cornered into doing more favors. The most accommodating, forgiving people are routinely the ones carrying the heaviest emotional burdens. When kindness is offered without a baseline of self-respect, the reciprocity we expect rarely materializes. Instead of a moral shield, this version of kindness functions as an invitation for others to prioritize their convenience over your well-being. You can see the physical and emotional toll this takes on chronic givers. They are perpetually exhausted, constantly suppressing their own comfort to ensure everyone else stays happy. Then comes the crisis test. Eventually, the giver hits a wall. They need a favor, an ear to listen, or a shoulder to lean on. But when they look around, the people they spent years supporting have vanished. This realization stings because it reveals a harsh truth. Those relationships weren't built on genuine reciprocity. They were built entirely on convenience. People loved the endless support, but the moment the benefits dried up, so did their presence. Unconditionally prioritizing others does not buy long-term loyalty. It merely sets the giver up for emotional bankruptcy, exactly when they require a return on their investment. When we look closely at this dynamic, we find a deep internal tension. What looks like generosity is frequently masking something else entirely. The hidden driver behind chronic niceness is rarely altruism. Usually, it is driven by anxiety. It stems from an intense fear of rejection, a dread of conflict, or the terrifying thought of being disliked. True kindness operates from a foundation of strength. You help because you genuinely choose to. People-pleasing, however, operates from a survival instinct. You help because you are afraid of what will happen if you don't. Acting out of fear changes the nature of the interaction. You are no longer choosing to help. You are attempting to manage someone else's opinion of you, which places the control of your emotional state in their hands. When your actions are controlled by the fear of disappointing others, you become an active participant in your own exploitation. Human behavior is heavily influenced by the convenience principle. Most people aren't actively malicious. They are simply wired by biology to gravitate toward the path of least resistance. If you never establish limits, you become the exact path of least resistance. You become the easiest option to dump a task on. This animated line graph tracks your availability versus perceived value. As your availability climbs, the value others assign to your energy drops to zero. The lines then merge into a solid block of expectation. What was once a favor is now aggressively taken for granted. By never saying no, you teach the world that your emotional energy carries absolutely zero worth. Manipulative individuals possess an almost supernatural ability to spot people caught in this trap. They zero in on targets who prioritize being liked over being respected. They rarely use overt aggression or threats. Their primary and most effective weapon is stealthy. They use guilt. A skilled manipulator knows exactly how to corner a nice person, using phrases that make them feel entirely responsible for a crisis they didn't create. Here is how the trap closes. A boundary is crossed. You stay silent to keep the peace. That compliance leads directly to a pattern being established. Tolerate an offense once, and it rewrites the rules permanently. It becomes the new normal. Staying quiet provides opportunists with a step-by-step blueprint for how to take advantage of you. Think of self-protection as a sieve rather than a barricade. A barricade isolates you from everyone. A sieve allows you to selectively choose what and who is allowed into your inner circle. Healthy limits are not cruel, defensive barriers designed to isolate you. They are necessary filters designed to ensure only people who respect you gain access to your energy. You will know exactly who belongs in your life based on how they react to these filters. Healthy individuals respect them. Manipulators deeply resent them. Saying no for the first time will cause immediate, unavoidable discomfort. You will face pushback. People will accuse you of being selfish. But remember, when people express anger over your new boundaries, they are simply complaining about losing access to a resource they were never entitled to in the first place. Genuine kindness remains one of humanity's greatest strengths, but it only works when it is paired with wisdom and limits. The real objective is to balance high compassion for others with an equal commitment to your own needs. This allows you to give from a position of abundance rather than a state of self-neglect. You can engage with a demanding world from a place of calm, grounded self-respect. You can offer help because you want to, not because you fear the consequences of saying no. True healing and truly powerful relationships begin the exact moment you finally take the kindness you relentlessly offer to everyone else and direct it back toward yourself.